With only 5 episodes left, we are coming to the end of the Hoth MOC. Last week, we surrounded the giant snowball, otherwise known as the ion cannon, with some pretty cool mountain work. This week, we were planning on finishing the back of the ion cannon, but something cool came in the mail. As you can see, it's pretty dark in our medical bay, and it's also pretty dark in our ice spider cave with Mando and Grogu. We were thinking about brightening up the Wampa Den, but it kind of looks cool with that kind of semi-dark light flowing in, much like the scene. So I think we might leave that one alone. So how are we going to brighten up the place? Well, these came in the mail. This is Light My Bricks, and I'm going to take you back very quick to episode 80, where Target Legend showed how he lit up his UCS Star Destroyer.
So we used a firm from Australia called Light My Bricks.
Gotcha.
These micro LEDs are tiny, and they have, you can buy one-off lights from them. You can buy kits for most UCS Lego sets.
Gotcha.
All of the modular buildings have lighting kits, but they are amazing lights. They're bright.
Yeah, and they're cool. Look at those guns firing.
So this is the exact company, Light My Bricks from Australia. This is a starter kit. We will break this sucker open, show it to you, and we're going to light up our bricks. So that's what we're doing today. We're lighting up the parts of the MOC that are dark. It's also a little dark in there. We'll have to see. Maybe the Tauntaun pen could use a little lightening up. You know, they get scared. Tauntauns get scared in the dark. So with that, let's get building. So after today, there are only 4 episodes left, including the finale, which is coming first week of October. So there's still some work we have to do. I'm not gonna harp on it, but we got a little more groundwork to lay and some more minifigures to put down. Which reminds me, stick around to the end of the episode. We are putting down minifigures. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see the climactic grand finale, which is coming, or if you want to watch the rest of the episodes. Not a bad idea to subscribe. And don't forget, coming in October, brand new MOC, UCS Trench Run. And in January, we got another new MOC, Clone Wars. So keep hanging around the channel, do some subscribing, some liking. And you can also become a member of Lobricks. We do a bunch of behind the scenes videos. We got another one coming up soon. So with that, let's talk about how we light our bricks. So the company we chose to light up our MOC is Light My Bricks out of Australia. Here's a look at their website. They have all kinds of lights designed for specific LEGO sets, like the UCS Star Destroyer. And then they have kits for just decorating your MOCs or your regular LEGOs, or your custom LEGO builds. And that's what I bought here. This is a starter kit. And let's open her up and see what's inside here. Time to light up. So the starter kit, it says, comes with everything you need to light up a small project, which is what we have here. Okay, so here are the contents. Here are 2 LED strip lights, which actually mount on the bottom of a Lego brick. And we're gonna see how that works. I'm assuming you hang it overhead and it lights downward, kind of like what we want in the medical bay. Then it comes with an expansion port where these little connectors go in. One of them is the power supply, which it is USB powered. Here are the 2 connector cables to connect to the LED strip light. And then it comes with 4 little individual brick lights, and these actually fit right under a little 1x1 round stud, so that's pretty cool. I think we want to attempt this inside of the Mandalorian spider cave, maybe under a couple of the blue translucent pieces, but we'll see. But anyways, here is the kit, and we also needed some other electronics, obviously, since they're USB powered. So we got some USB extension cables and a 4-port powered hub. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a kind of prototype setup. I'm gonna try to light all of this up and see just how bright it is, see what it looks like. All right, so here they are all lit up, and they are definitely bright. These lighting strips will be perfect for shining light down on the med bay, and these little individual lights Although they're a little white, I wonder how they'll show through the translucent blue of the spider cave. So now that we've given it a test, and look, they even come with 2 1x6 Lego pieces to mount. Very cool. So now that we've tested it, done some quality assurance on these lights, and see they're definitely bright enough, in fact they're blinding, I think it's time for me to get assistant, because these are some very small connector pieces and my old leaky hands aren't quite up to the task, although I did connect these. So we're gonna get assistant and start lighting up our bricks. All right, assistant, so where do we want the lights at?
So each package comes with how many lights does it come with?
There's 4 little booby boobs.
So there's 4 regular lights.
Yep.
And then an additional
2 strip lights.
2 strip lights, and we got 3 packages of these.
Yes.
So I think what we're gonna do is connect these guys, you know, kind of daisy chained, and then these are gonna be our overhead lights for the medical bay.
Yes.
And then all of these other components the other 4 can go places in the medical bay where we want to light them up. And then we can put another lighting kit in the command center, and we can see if we can try to get some light in some other places as well. But yeah, medical bay is like the first one we want to try to attempt here. And the system is it's via USB, and we have these USB extension cords that we're going to be using to get power into the MOC here.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to drill through the table to get that to work. Right here, probably.
Yeah, I found a little spot there.
Just start drilling.
Because it fits behind the pillar there, and it's in a nice spot in there. Oh, we also took out the ion cannonball. It's gone.
Yes, this is something. This episode should probably have been done. You know, when we didn't have that in there.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking we probably shouldn't go any further with the shield generator until we put the shield generator until we put that in.
First, we should do a test.
Yep, we'll do a little test.
So I got the overhead lights hooked up here, and I've got this cable. If you want to give me. So this is going to be the view of our medical center. As you can see, it's pretty dark. If we turn on the lights, oof, just like that, we get a full view of the medical center. And I'm thinking that, man, that is bright.
Right.
All right, so I went ahead and wrapped 3 lights through this archway that come from our medical bay, just so we can use some more of this lighting that looks so good in here. Now I'm gonna use it a little bit differently. I'm gonna try to get it in the buttons of this machine here, and then kind of on this server here. I tried doing it with this server over here, but the wire actually broke, so they're not too strong. You can't clamp down the Lego bricks on them, or they will break. So we're gonna run them into these servers and kind of see what they look like, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get a nice effect just like what we saw in the medical center. So let's wire in these wires and see what they look like. And if you're curious, here's the broken light. As you can see, it's kind of snapped at the end. What I had done that actually caused it to break is I don't think it was a fault of the actual product, but essentially it was kind of running through a brick like that. I had already clamped down, and then I went ahead to go put another brick down on top of that, and then the light turned off. So that you can't be too rough about them. I was trying to conceal them a little bit more than their ability to be concealed was. So you can't clamp them down on bricks, but you can definitely hide them inside. I would recommend almost building a little bit of a channel, just like a 1x1 channel for them to run through. That's kind of what I did there. As you can see, I left an opening. So that's what I'd recommend, just to get them routed without breaking them. All right, so here are the 2 computers that I want to put 2 of these lights in, and then I think the other one is going to run over to the server. So we got 2 lights here, and I want them to be in these little computer nodes there, just to give some light. So that's where we're going to try to put them, although I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get them in there. So let's take them apart and see what we can do. All right, there we go. I got them all installed. It was really easy. All I did was I kind of plunked them in the back here. So now we have those 3 lights there with the medical center or the control center. And then of course we have our lighting kit under here in the medical center, just so you can see that whole area. And that definitely made a difference. All right, so there's an update. I did just add in 2 more of the spotlights because we had some extra from the other lighting kit. And that's really illuminated this back section here where we have the Tauntaun pit, a bunch of equipment, some like repair shed for a snow speeder there, and of course an army rushing out. It's a really cramped and crowded area that I think that light adds a lot to, because before, as you can see when we turn those lights off, so as you can see it's very, very dark in there with those lights off. So you just can't really see all of the nice intricate detail. But when we turn those lights on, you can kind of see the entire surrounding area with all of the troops and equipment and things and movement going on to kind of prepare the base for the incoming attack. So definitely some cool things going on there. And I'm glad that we were able to incorporate 2 more lights into kind of our array here with 3 lights here. And then of course the 1 under light under there. So we're getting a lot of nice kind of kinetic lighting in this whole area to just make the base look a lot more lively. All right, so the Kyber Crystal Cave, what we want to do is we want to illuminate some of the lights. Now the cables aren't too long, so we're not going to have too much mobility to kind of move them down here. So we're either going to have them on one end or the other. I'm kind of leaning more towards this side because there's more crystals in this area. But let's see what we can do to try to get some lights behind each of these crystals here. I'm gonna start with this one right here. So let's get started. All right, so Leaky kind of went crazy and just put them all in. But as you can see, we have multiple lights lighting up the Kyber Crystal Cave. So now there's some lights back there. They're a little bit oversaturated on camera. I can try to dim it down a little bit for you guys just so it looks a little bit more like it does in real life, but it's definitely looking really, really good, and that adds a lot to this Mandalorian scene back here. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good addition with the lights, just to kind of bring some life into this scene. And the wires aren't as noticeable as they are in our other scene, so I'm really liking the way that this is looking. But anyway, we do still have one major thing we have to do. You may have been noticing to power this, we have a USB cable here, which we've kind of just been dangling over to get it plugged in. So what we're gonna have to do is drill a hole so this can come out the bottom of our table, and then we can run our power cable in from the bottom and then set our ion cannon in on top of this. So we can have all our cool lights with none of the downsides of having the cool lights. And just if you are curious, the wires are showing there, and the wires are also showing there. So those are kind of the 2 areas where we couldn't hide the wires all too well, but obviously this area is going to be covered by our ion cannon, so it's going to be not much of a concern.
Well, Assistant, I would argue that there's all kinds of tubery and wires already on Echo Base, so it just kind of looks like it's part of the deal.
Well, that's definitely what we're trying to go for, especially with some of the tubes and wires in there, but they're not Lego looking, so I think it's definitely a concern. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's drill that hole.
Don't drill holes into Lobricks.
Yeah, don't do that.
Where it comes out.
I'm in Lego.
You're in.
Well. All right, so now we do have a hole down in there. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. It's a hole straight through to the floor in our MOC. And what we're gonna have to do is run this wire through there. So that's not gonna be fun. All right, so we drilled the hole. When we went to go pull the cable up, it actually broke. So we're gonna have to get a new one of these, unfortunately, to get that working. But now we must set the ion cannon back in place. All right, so there we go. The ion cannon is set back into its spot. It is a little bit crooked and a little bit lopsided, but we still are gonna need to pull it back out to fix that lighting issue, unfortunately. But for today, I think that's gonna work. But anyway, here are our minifigures. As you can see, we got 3 more pilots, 2 with the generic faces, 1 is Luke, and we want them to be standing around in our circle here, which kind of got messed up by our light construction, so we're gonna have to fix it a little bit. So let me rearrange these figures, add these guys in, and then let's take a look at what we got. All right, so there we go, rearrange all the figures so it's kind of like a semicircle. We still want to add maybe some more troops in the back there just to really complete it out, just because there was a lot of people standing there when Commander Leia, or whatever the hell her title is, was giving that speech. So really just want to fill out that scene, and I think that's really going to, you know, make the atmosphere in our Echo Base hangar lively, which is what I've been saying this whole series, and it's really coming together. You can see with all of our minifigure placement around the MOC, there is a lot of movement and a lot of activity, and you can just kind of look in at different aspects of the MOC and see all kinds of movement and all kinds of things going on, people doing their jobs, trying to kind of get out of Hoth alive and get out of Hoth safely. And that's really what we're going for. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed what we did today with the lights over in this area, and who could forget about the Kyber Crystal Cave, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more, we're almost done with this series, so definitely stay tuned for that finale. And we will also be leaving a link in the description for the light bricks we use, just in case you want to do it. They make some cool kits. They actually have one for the UCS Star Destroyer, which looks really, really cool. But yeah, it is really, really a good product that works well. Other than the connectors are a little and they break easy. We actually broke a couple of them. That's why we don't have the lights on right now, unfortunately. But, you know, they do work well and they are bright, which is what matters. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one, and have a good one.